Matthew, the 24th chapter, speaks about wars and rumors of wars. What I did was I put in Putin, 100,000 troops. And this is what came up. I'm going to put this up raw, like I said. Anyway, as you see, on-demand news, Russia deploys thousands of troops to Ukraine border, sparking global concerns. Is DW News out of Germany. Is Russia about to launch a fresh offense in eastern Ukraine? You got here NATO and Russia clash over troop buildup. Now, biblically, NATO represents the beast. NATO and North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Some of the major members: America, the United States, aka Babylon the Great, Canada, and the major European nations: Germany, France, Great Britain. Even though Great Britain is no longer part of the EU, they're still a part of NATO. And ultimately, the NATO forces will come against America and shoot missiles along with Russia. So the target is Babylon the Great, which is the continent known as the USA. So it says NATO and Russia clash over troop buildup. And the Most High is gathering these major militaries together. You know, Armageddon in Revelation 16. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, that's in the Levant, in the Middle East. See, that's why you have to filter everything, the news, especially on a global level, through the scriptures. Vocab's not doing this. Vocab's not concerned about prophecies. He thinks the whole planet is just going to blow up like the Death Star in Star Wars. He doesn't understand prophecies. It says here, fears grow over huge, that's in all caps, huge Russian military buildup at Ukraine border. It was on-demand news again. One day ago, UK intervened as Putin sends 100,000 troops to EU border. And the EU is a part of NATO. You have EU nations that are part of the NATO and some NATO nations that are part of the EU. Example, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to look up the source. but I believe Turkey is a member of NATO and not a member of the EU. And one of the beloved brothers in the camp, up and coming elder, when the camp was being closed last night, he shared with myself, and I shared it. We shared it. I had him share it with the rest of the men, that France wants to pull out of the EU. And I think it's called, the news is going to call it, or starting to call it, Frexit, France exiting the EU. And that's the breakup of the feet of it in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Part of iron and part of miry clay. Daniel, the 2nd chapter, you can start from about the 40th verse and read a couple of verses down. If somebody wants to put that in the comment section, they can. I may put it up there and put up those precepts. Because with YouTube, you got 2 lessons. You got the lesson, you got the video, which is lesson number 1. Then you have the comment section, which is lesson number 2. Biden, this is Al Jazeera English, good news station. You should watch these, Russia Today and Al Jazeera English. There's another one out of Iraq. I haven't seen that news company. I forget the name. Somebody could put it in the description box. I mean, in the comment section. Anyway, it says Biden, and I believe Biden. Well, I got to look up that word. I'm not sure if it means death. Bane means death, but I got to look up the root word for Biden. It says Biden offers Ukraine's Zelensky support amid Russia tension. So that's the U.S. getting involved. Support meaning military, financial, and or military support. Nobody goes into these prophetic scriptures like the Israelites and mainly GMS, prophetic camp, the camp that goes into a lot of prophecies. This is from U News 2. Russians tank painted with invasion stripes as 100,000 soldiers, this was put up one day ago, mass at European border. Now we know World War III is not going to break out as of yet, because the majority of the people of the planet have to have that jab, the Krispy Kreme jab. Because now, if you get the jab, you go to Krispy Kreme, you get a Krispy Kreme donut. So I call it the Krispy Kreme jab. 3 days ago, Sky News, I believe, is based in Australia. Anyway, it says Ukraine shows off military prowess to Russia. And the Ukrainian people, they're fighting people. They're part of the original USSR. What does that stand for? United Socialist Soviet Socialist Republics. If I'm not mistaken. Just like you have a U.S. United States where you had a united Russia. This is from Crux. Huge Russian military buildup in the Arctic. Satellite image shows Moscow's Special Forces base. BBC News, Ukraine-Russia tension, BBC News. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.